kuna watu wengi ambao wanajifanya wao ni maaskofu, wao ni makasisi, wao ni wainjilisti, lakini kule ndani wanauza mbegu, wanauza maji. Na tumewaambia wale wanataka kuuza mbegu wakuje, tutawasajili katika Wizara ya Kilimo na Kenya Seed, waendeshe mambo ya kuuza mbegu pande hiyo.
Now, welcome back to Havana Media. My name is Boniface Owino, and as usual, I'm going to be your host for today. There is something that I talked about, I think it was 3 weeks ago. Yeah, 3 weeks ago when I was talking about this issue of Pastor Ezekiel and Dr. OWUOR, when Dr. OWUOR was saying that Kenyans don't try me. And there's a response that Pastor Ezekiel said when Pastor Ezekiel was telling Kenyans, or was asking Kenyans why they are rejecting their own. And the reasons why Dr. OWUOR right now is living in Brazil, not in Kenya. And he was saying that Kenyans have rejected their own, and that is why OWUOR decided to leave, because they are welcoming other preachers. But when somebody like OWUOR comes into Kenya to preach, there is no one to receive him in a better way. So yesterday there is something that Pastor Ezekiel said, and also Dr. OWUOR said something concerning the reasons why he feels like Kenyans are being punished, and why God is angry with Kenyans. So that is what I want us to talk about. But before we do that, I would like to give you a chance to go to the subscribe area. You click the subscribe button, you like, you share. Also drop me a comment at the comment section. As I normally say, that feedback is normally the key thing in any form of communication. And also you can tell me you are watching us from, without forgetting to thank those who have been giving us your support. People like Eliezer Siringa, people like Evans, people like Helmet 254. I really appreciate what you're doing for us. Thank you very much, and may God bless you. I bless you in abundant way, because without your support, this channel cannot grow and it cannot reach where it has reached by now. Thank you very much. May God bless you. Asante sana. Now, back to our discussion. Remember the other time, I've told you there that the other time there is something that Dr. OWUOR said when he was warning Kenyans, that Kenyans should not try. I don't know what really happened that made him angry, and he decided to warn Kenyans.
Kenya, don't try me.
Kenya, musinijaribu.
Please don't, I beg you.
Tafadhali musijaribu na wasihi.
If I destroy you totally forever.
Kama nitaharibu na haribu kabisa milele.
Kama nitawaharibu.
Kama nitawaharibu kabisa milele.
But for now, I'm giving you grace.
Lakini kwa sasa ninawapatia neema.
I am the one that brought the coronavirus.
And I was like asking myself, is he warning the government or warning the citizens? Because I didn't exactly know whom was trying him and why he was saying that Kenyans don't try me. And also, in the same video, I talked about the reason as to why Ezekiel was trying to talk about Dr. OWUOR. But now today, in this video, I want us to talk about this issue. I've had Pastor Ezekiel talking about people saying that people talking about their history, or maybe their worship, saying that there are some people who are saying that they are idol worshippers. I want you to listen to this.
Hebu sema, mulipelekwa wapi? Tulipelekwa mpaka baharini. Mkamuona nani? Tukamuona Ezekiel na nani? Na Dr. OWUOR. Wakifanya nini? Wakilisha nyoka. Tukaenda mpaka wapi? Mpaka kwenye mapango. Muliona nani? Pastor Ezekiel akiwa nani? Akiwa juu ya nyoka. Si hata wewe pia ulipanda nyoka wako? Unajua Wakristo wanakuwa brainwashed. Kila pastor aliye na nguvu za Mungu, wachungaji wengine huinua manabii wao, wanasema ni mapepo. Si huyo Mungu wako aponye hata kidogo tu. Unaombea kitu kama hichi, kimeandikwa caps, na iombea pale kwa ile ofisi, na weka nguvu za Mungu hapo tu kwa maombi. Yani hii watu kupona hivyo ndivyo devil. Mutapona hata kama mtaki, mutapona.
And also this issue, today in the morning, I received a clip, and I would like to play it to you too. This clip was Dr. OWUOR in a phone call he was saying that now he understands the reasons why God has decided to punish Kenya. And that is why there are a lot of things that are really happening in Kenya right now. It's simply because God is angry and have decided to punish Kenya. I want you to listen to this.
And I can perfectly understand why the Lord has chosen to judge Kenya. I can perfectly understand. Because how do you touch someone who has simply come to raise your cripples from the ground, and these are cripples you were stranded with forever? These are cripples that you were stranded with and nobody could help you. And then the Lord sends somebody who steps into the scene and begins to raise them from the soil in large numbers, free of charge. How do you touch such a person and get away with it? I can perfectly understand why the Lord has really determined to finally judge Kenya. How do you touch somebody who's so glorious, who has simply come to open the eyes of your total blind, people that are totally blind, cannot even move, total darkness, and then at one decree, without a penny, from Nairobi, they are not even there in your villages to take an offering from you. Simply decreeing from Nairobi. They are far from you. You can't even run. Let me give him a cup of maize. Far from you. And raise your cripples. Open the eyes of your blind. Open the deaf ears. Do big meetings at Jamhuri grounds. Open the ears. First of all, raise your cripples. Open the eyes of your blind. Open the deaf ears of your deaf. How do you touch such a person with malice and get away with it and expect the Lord to just cover it under the carpet? I perfectly understand why the Lord has now finally determined and decided that he must judge Kenya. That means the Lord never forgave. The pain was too much for him. When he saw how much his servants travailed for you, they labored for you, and yet all you ever gave back is blackmail, malice, slander, ridicule, mockery. How do you touch such glorious prophets and get away with it? Even a child can tell, no, huwezi guza hawa, you cannot touch those ones. Venye tu wanatembea na Mungu, just the way they are walking with the Lord, you cannot try. Even for your eternity. And so the Lord, it seems, has finally decided to catch Kenya, to judge Kenya. Because I've tried to pray for you, and tried to pray for you, but he is still insisting that he will judge you by step. How do you touch the glorious prophets of Yahweh and get away with it?
Now, I don't know what you understand on this two video. I don't know. I really don't know, because at one point to hear these guys, first thing that we have to understand that, okay, these are God's prophets. Let me say that they are God's prophets. They are people who have been sent by God to preach the gospel. We've seen a lot of things, a lot of miracles that have been that Dr. OWUOR has been doing in his mega crusades. That is okay. And at the same time, we normally hear the way Pastor Ezekiel preaches, the way God is using him. That one is okay. But there is something that I'm failing to understand here. That why is it that Kenyan government is against these preachers? Because starting with Pastor Ezekiel, the other time we had the way the government was taking, he even went to court, something like that. His bank was freezed simply because they were trying to find a way of maybe blackmailing him, saying that asking where he's getting the money, saying that he's been looting, and it was even connected with the issue of Mackenzie, that Mackenzie and him have got one thing in common. It's like they're doing some business, they're a mischief business. Now, talking about Dr. OWUOR. Dr. OWUOR, I've never had Dr. OWUOR doing any crusade apart from Nakuru, and probably Eldoret. I think he has gone maybe once or twice. Why can't he organize a meeting in Nairobi? And why is it that when he's doing his crusade, his services, no government is even involved? And the other day we saw when Ben-Hinn came to Kenya, the way he was received, the way Kina Bishop Arizon Nganga received him, and the way even the way the president also went. The president himself was there and together with the deputy president, and all the respected men of God were in that meeting. Why is it that when Kenyan preachers are conducting maybe a crusade, we don't see things like those? Somebody like Apostle Nganga normally organizes crusades. I've never seen even any leader maybe talking about it. Why is it that when a man of God is coming from outside the country, we appreciate and we even give respect, but when our own is coming to Kenya, we don't give them that privilege? When our own is in Kenya or maybe doing something, we don't give them that privilege. And then at the end of the day, we'll come to claim that maybe God is not using us. And we are seeing right now, that is a First Lady, Rachel is saying that there are a lot of things that needs to be prayed for. So how do we expect to bring someone from outside to come and pray for our country, yet we have people who can pray for our country? Or is it that we feel like they are not worthy before God? I don't know what you think. That is just my point of view. I also want to hear what you're saying at the comment section. And until we meet again, I have been your host, Boniface Owino. Bye bye.